How's it going? Hope you're having a great day. This is a companion commentary to the photo project A Fair Ride. So, this is the second fair project that I ended up at. And this one, I like the vibe in this one a lot. So, the first one was very exciting because it was like the return from COVID. It was the first year I thought about doing a fair project. It was closed due to COVID. Year later, it was open. That was the whole idea of fair return. So this is year two, fair ride. Um, this photo, when I shot it, I knew this was going to be kind of like you know, the main photo, the flagship photo. This one just has such an awesome feel to it, to me. And I've always kind of thought this way with photos that I make that just stand out in a way that feels like it's a self-reflection. Like it's like I'm in that image. And it's really funny to think that way, but it's true with me at least. Like when I see this photo and I see this girl in the dead center, kind of is like looking off away from everyone else, especially like the look on her face, just the vibe and everything around is just like I just knew I caught such a good moment. And the way the ride is at this time, the sky, just the lighting around. I mean, her pose is awesome. It's just this was just one of those photos where I just knew it was gonna be something special for sure. So let's keep on going within this project. So yeah, I mean, I love the fair. You just never really know the kind of photos you're gonna get, and the fair can be like one of those cliche things. But I'll have to remind myself because it's never ending. This thought where there's things that are cliche out there, photographically, but my take on things, I don't think are quite cliche. Yeah, I mean, like, um, I think it was like Alex Soth, photographer, says like he likes riding on the edge of being cliche, and I don't even like. It's really funny, like like right now, even talking about it, like when I talk about like the fair, it makes me think of people take photos at the fair, but like when I'm at the fair, like I'm not thinking about that at all, like cliche photos, because that's not what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, um, I can see those photos, but that's not what I'm looking for, so I'm not even photographing them. If I don't know if any of that made sense, but that's why I love these companion commentaries because it's really just I hit record and I just start talking. It's literally just like the classic days when you'd actually buy a DVD and it had a commentary with it, and they're just watching the movie talking about it. And I feel like that's the vibe I'm kind of going with these commentaries. This spot here, this should definitely remind me of a Jim Jones situation. Just the Kool Aid thing. Even though what was that? It wasn't Kool Aid. It was like the off brand stuff. But yeah, just like the vats of Kool Aid here. Very interesting. Again, like this reminded me of a photo I shot in New York. Actually, it's facing the opposite way. I had a guy looking very similar to this in the streets of New York. But yeah, it's just at the fair. Again, trying to get a little bit of imagery in the fair. I don't really look too hard for that, but I this ice cream cone was there the year before. I shot something, and I was like, it would be cool to incorporate just a big cone, and but not really like photographing the big cone. It's just there, and yeah, I dug this photo, so I kind of just went with it. I love the the look on some of these. That's a cool thing. Is just like there's so many people. It's not a normal environment. Got some cool style of hair and everything. This one I remember. So this kid was like booking it, and I seen him from a distance. And actually, it's kind of funny. Like we're probably doing the same thing. Like I kinda ran out of a like a I don't even know what you call them, like stalls or whatever. I don't even know. I ran out, like, in between some barns or something, because I seen this kid running this way, like, towards me, and I'm like, I gotta, like, speed up to, like, try to get a photo. I don't even know here. I'm far away from the microphone there. This kid was running up, so I'm, like, running towards him, and I just, like, turn as he's, like, going around this corner here, snapped a photo. Like, when I shot it, I remember being, like, bummed that, like, there's a group of people, like, right behind him. Like, it'd been cool if it was almost, like, isolated, which I still feel that way, but at the same time, like, I really still like this moment, so it's just, like he just, like, running through that pile of, like, actual crap. And it just by doing that, like, I'm so focused on him, I'm shooting this photo, but, like, I immediately look at him because that's what I was, going for. I see the group of people, but then, like, at the same time, there's this cool little moment going on to the left here. Just like, I don't know, it just worked out. And sometimes, like, you get too, like, nitpicky and don't use a photo because of some some thought, you know, it still doesn't mean it's not a good photo. I walked past this person and I was just like, "That's kind of weird." And then so I just kinda went back and got this photo, and, I like it. I really enjoy this one a lot. I'm always a big fan of, like, the unknown, and I've been photographing a lot more like this actually, like, in recent times as of time is recording, like, trying to get a little bit more of a I'm looking out for that a little bit more of a, like, you don't know who you're looking at, that type of vibe. Yeah, this one was cool, you know, I don't just, like it's cool, like, when you're at the fair, you kinda have, like there's a little bit of, like, your guards down, that type of thing where, like, everyone's there having a good time, and it's cool, being able to, make photos happen. Also, love the art. And I think it's the next fair project. There's another or it might be the most recent one. Can't remember. I think the first project didn't have anything like this, I don't think. But, I kind of experimented a little bit more, going to my second year, getting some animals involved. And then just another thing, just trying to document a little bit differently, If I remember correctly, yeah, I don't know. But this one was I'm just kind of, like, thinking as this like, literally, I just, like, hit record and start talking. So I'm trying to, like, remember things as I'm going. I actually hung out a while with this I don't know if this is a donkey or just a horse or what this thing is, but the lighting was cool, and I waited for so long for him to get, like, closer to the fence here, the gate, and, like, it's just kinda turned the wrong way, but I like the red kind of whatever that is, harness. Looked like kind of an interesting color, like the blacks and grays and whites, and but then he just kinda came around and did, like, just did this little turn, and it worked out, like, really great. This is one where I was just like it's probably partially like, "Oh, this would be cool," plus I'm, like, kinda have some shade because it's, it gets hot at the fair, so it's like I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be patient with this, donkey/horse and see if something happens," and glad I did. Cool moment. This was just, one of those things, right place, right time moment for sure. Got some nice stuff going on. I like this one. Yeah, this one's, in shambles right here for sure. The furred cheese, corn dogs, it's just like I don't know what's going on with this spot here, but definitely had to take this photo. It's definitely crazy. And I know I didn't mention in the beginning, I usually do. This project and all my other projects are available on my website, beastmedia.com. There's no cost. Every project's available to view, and highly suggest checking it out because you can see it on full screen, however you want to do it. Um, you know, so I definitely recommend checking it out. Again, that's beastmedia.com. and, yeah, every project. And there's I always have, like, these prints called Boo prints, which is B. Smitty originally owned. I'll have, stuff in the print shop, so there's definitely stuff to check out if you wanna support the cause, my quest of living the art life. Another cool moment here. I try to, like, really, like, you know, trying to get, like, in and out of traffic, you know what I mean? Trying to make things happen. It's not easy sometimes, but sometimes you get lucky for sure. It's really not luck at the same time. I think the time is luck, but you actually taking a photo isn't really so much luck. I really like this one, and I forgot this was in this project. This is one of my favorite fair photos probably. I don't know, I have, like, many for sure, but, I don't know, this one's just cool. I don't know. I just like I don't know, I just like it. There's sometimes photos just, like, you see it and you're like, "Man, that just, like, kinda works." Just like the main photo, like, of this project. This one's cool. It's like another one where, like, I remember this and I was debating on having this in the project. But I kinda just like it at the same time. I don't know why. I think I just like the nervous energy she kinda gives out a little bit, or just like the vibe. It's not I don't even know if it's a nervous energy, but it's just like, I like that look. I like just like the laid back stance. Um, Sometimes things don't have to be too sometimes less that's going on is better. This one too, super cool. Um, just like, this cowgirl is, like, kind of by herself. And you kinda have this kinda lady here at the overalls. It kinda reminds you, like this kinda reminds me of, like, that duo there is just, like, you kinda have, like, the final girl in, like, the horror movie wearing a cowboy hat, and you kinda have, like, some type of, like I don't know. There's something to this, but the cowgirl right in the middle there, just, like, kind of the light hitting, just, like, again, just being there. Another one. These ones are interesting. Yeah, I think that's just, like, I know what I'm looking for, and when I see it, like, it makes sense, like, to me. Like, and this is a theme it's always a theme of mine. It's kind of what I'm looking for. I guess I might as well kind of talk about that in a way where I think, photographers end up with their style and I think that's why I always use the quote, from Alex where she said that, um, like, my style is, like, in a category of its own, which the reason I always did that because it's, like, probably the greatest comment or, review, whatever it was a LinkedIn, review. Probably the greatest feedback you can get as an artist for sure. But this is definitely something that I've always kind of done, even without people and with people, is like this sense of like separation, seclusion. If you like look this photo, right here we have the girl by herself and you're drawn to that person. It's the same thing for the cover photo. You're drawn to a single person, but there's a lot of people around. And the same thing's for objects without people. Like there's a certain thing, but there's like, I don't know, there's an element that I'm looking for and it's hard to explain. And again, it's not easy to do because you need the other elements sometimes to make it happen. Sometimes there's photos where you're like, yeah, so, shooting someone by themselves is easy to do. You find someone that's by themselves, but that's not how easy it is. This one's a great photo blown up. Um, it's kind of the same thing. There's a really good vibe going on to the right-hand side. Obviously, the ride. I shot a ton of photos at this spot because I was trying to get like I was working the longer shutter. People were standing, so I was trying to get like a not much motion blur happening down below. But this one worked out really great. This guy right here just kind of has this like crazy, like tall vibe. Like another one I enjoy a lot for sure. And that is a fair ride. This one definitely had again like this like really consistent theme of like separation. I think, and then this is something that, like, I've talked about, where when you're an artist, you learn how to work better. It's so funny to say, but it's true. Like, when it's early on, you're first making work, no matter what you're doing, there's a lot of like wasted time on like tinkering around with like making things that aren't what you like. You're just shooting just to shoot. You're making art just to make art. But when you know what you're looking for, you know what you're doing, and you kind of piece it together, you know, and that comes with time. And this, I think it's this year. This is the year where it the fair got flooded out. So the fair was only 4 days out of the 7 days, and I knew it, I knew it was going to rain, but I didn't know it was going to be that bad. So I think this is actually two like decent walks and like a short morning walk, and that's it. It was like not much time was spent on this project photographically of like making like things happen, but I think I did pretty good and just, what I had going on and what was available. And and yeah, so that's a fair ride. I know I kind of went a little bit different on this one, kind of talking about style and all that, but um, I think that's what's good about these commentaries too. A little bit of behind the scenes information as well. So, anyways, I'm gonna cut myself off. As you know, I can keep on talking about my photographic process always and forever because I'm on that quest of living the art life. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. I'm on Instagram at OGBSmitty, and I'll see you in the next video.